This week on No, You're Wrong, we're part 2 of Winter Winter, the season finale of Game of Thrones. Stay tuned. Welcome to Know You're Wrong. I'm Mike Kolb, joined with Joey Skaggs, Brody Buckingham, and we're talking part 2, Winds of Winter, season finale, Game of Thrones. Let's start it right off with Arya. Wow.
Yes.
Starting to mark names off her list now.
Yeah, I fully.
In the best way
I
possible.
fully did not expect to see her at all in the finale. I thought it was going to take some while for her to get back, but no.
Time is fluid, as you've said.
Yes, time is.
And it's the
time
best
doesn't matter.
reintroduction
Yeah, it was
ever.
It was so good.
Like, it was so good.
I want to talk for a minute about the poor girl that she killed. She murdered some poor servant girl to steal her face.
Is that how that works, though?
Yeah, they showed us in the temple or the black and white that they kill somebody, then they cut their face off, and
right.
that's how they add a face to the Hall of Masks.
But was she not that girl all along? In the,
she might have been, but she still had to kill the girl to get her face.
Right. Or she could have taken it with her. I'm just kidding. She couldn't have, because she left.
She might have, but I don't think she did.
Yeah.
Well, who cares? She's killing people. I'm cool with it.
She's slicing throats and smiling about it.
Yes.
I mean, the best thing is how it was revealed was because he's asking about his sons, and you still think she's just that slave girl, and then she's like, well, they're here. And I'm like, wait, is this some kind of like delusion?
Yeah, I thought it was like a dream.
Yeah, I was like,
delusion.
what is going
I was like,
on?
Is Walter Frey messed up? Like,
Yeah. And then he keeps going, and she's like, no, they're in this room. And that's when I'm still like, what are we watching? And then
They're right.
Yeah,
here.
they're right here. And it was like, oh my gosh.
Peels back and you see the tooth.
I was like, it was a tooth? I thought it was a toe or something. Yeah.
It was like with a nail.
It was a very Sweeney Todd moment.
Yeah, it was like,
and I loved how. It's weird because I never thought it was Arya until she took the face off. Because even then I'm thinking, was Jamie like pulling some crazy one on her or on him? And then she does the reveal and I'm like, oh my gosh!
So she's marking names off. But what is she gonna do when she's got all her names not marked off a list? Like, where does she go from there?
Just kick back on the beach or something. I don't know.
No, well that's the weird thing too. Is like she's now proven that she's pretty much the ultimate assassin, and she's not worried at all about people knowing who she is because she's revealing herself when she kills them.
All right.
But it's kind of like she's taking everything that she's learned and then putting her own spin on it.
Yeah.
And so is she gonna start like her own thing?
That's
or?
pretty savage. Like not only did she kill his sons, but she was like, I could just go to kill Walter Frey now. She's like, no, I'm gonna make some food, put his kids in it, serve it to him, and then I'm gonna slit his throat.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that was savage.
It was beast mode. Arya's gone full on beast mode.
I mean, he did kill her brother and her mother, so she's going all out.
I mean, I was glad she did it. Like, that was awesome. I hate that guy.
I almost wonder though if this is kind of a reveal that she's going to end. She's going to have a very negative ending for her. I think she's going to be one of those characters that eventually gets killed off, or maybe once she gets the last name checked, she probably will end herself. I mean, she's obviously very tormented, so she's kind of the wild card now.
All right, and from there we have the lovers' goodbye, Dario and Daenerys. That was a very long scene for a breakup.
I liked it though.
It was character development, but I feel like his characters are developed. It didn't need to pass that long. There's other stuff in that episode I wanted to see. Let's move on.
But it was an hour and 20-minute episode.
Yeah.
It's
like
I
it wasn't long.
Disagree with you on that. I mean, I thought it was a good scene, and I like, the way that she was justifying it, and and he's smart enough to realize, he's like, okay, I get that, but please just let me, come with you.
I'll be your mistress.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not proud or anything, but I mean, she has a point.
Well, and you
That's
never
hard.
know. I mean, I don't think he's being insincere, but eventually, once she does kind of take the throne, he could try to do something on her. But what threw me more than anything...
Will she have time for him?
No.
She's always had a little time for
but
him.
I mean, like
This
they
is
said,
a
he
whole
was
new
like,
ball game.
bring him. There's no benefit of bringing.
Yeah,
him.
and I don't think I think she made the right choice. But what was crazy was how she was kind of smiling the whole time. I was like, does she have resting happy face? Like, I couldn't understand if it was just she just kind of looks happy because she's not. That's just how her face
she's
is.
in an awkward situation,
right?
she
Or
just
is she
smiles
just
like, oh, sorry, your dad died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is just. It was that slight little smirk, like what your pain is not affecting me.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy because she's not. I'm not saying that she's cold, but she's never really been that kind of character.
I like that he called it at the end. It was Tyrion. It was Tyrion's idea. Tyrion told you to do this.
Yeah.
Daenerys like, nobody tells me to do anything. And then she walks out and Tyrion's like,
Tyrion.
You were right.
I know
You're
that was-
hand of the queen.
Yeah.
He's like, I know this is hard to do, but I mean, he did, and that's why I think Tyrion's such a good match for her because several times we've seen him, keep her on a level head, keep her level head, and
Keep her focused.
Well,
on the
yeah,
goal.
because
Focus.
before we mentioned too how when he came into the picture, she was kind of going a little wild, and he kind of brought her back down,
Yeah.
and so she could be a much more ruthless person without him.
Yeah.
And he's kind of making her a better queen.
I
And so-
understand her ruthlessness. She's lived a very savage life.
Right.
And Tyrion is that balance to keep her a good person.
Right.
Because she could very easily cross that line and be Cersei.
Yeah.
And Cersei is the new Mad King.
Or her father. Yeah.
Queen,
Mad Queen.
Mad Queen.
Mad Queen.
But here's another thing too: is I almost felt like Tyrion had a bit of a crush on her moment. He just I don't think he would ever act on it.
He's like, hey,
but-
you should break up with your boyfriend.
Well, no, but
for
he
sure.
mentioned that there will be many men out there that will be in love with her.
Yeah.
And he just gave this slight look like it's almost like he's falling for her.
like me.
But I don't think he's the kind of character who would really act on it.
Yeah.
But I do believe he's kind of fond of her now.
He's only been in love once, really, twice. His first love and then Shay.
Yeah.
And I don't think he will ever dip his toes into love again.
Right. But I do feel like he's helping her for more than just the outright reasons. I think there's a little bit more going on inside.
Well, there is also, there's this another theory about, the three-headed dragon.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who think that now that we are confirmed that Jon Snow is Targaryen, people
Yeah.
think that Tyrion is also a Targaryen.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I never heard that theory.
That
Joanna Lannister and Aryas II, Aryas Targaryen, the Mad King, is actually Tyrion's father. Is what a lot of people are saying.
So they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
Wow.
that would be.
Yeah, the Mad King.
The Mad
that would
Kings
be, yeah,
are-
that would be brother and sister. Yeah.
They'd be brother and sister, and then they would also be, aunt and uncle to Jon
Jon,
Snow.
yeah.
But if you remember, like in the first season, like Tyrion and Jon Snow had a pretty good bonding moment when they
Right.
went to the wall. So like they already like each other, and they related because they
respect.
were a bastard.
Yeah, uh-huh.
He was a bastard, and the other one was, the,
All dwarves are bastards
all
in their
dwarves are
father's
bastards.
eyes. Yeah.
So there is this crazy theory that they could all be like, and a lot of people think that part of this theory is that Jon Snow is the prince that was promised. That
Yeah.
was part of
The call that will mount the world.
yeah. And so like people are gonna think that these three are gonna be the three that ride the dragons. And Tyrion had a scene with his dragons, like where he went down talking to him and let him loose. So it could happen. They could all be Targaryens. I don't know. I don't want it to be what was that one show? We talked about this, Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
When everybody turns out to be Cylons, like everyone's a Cylon, and they're like, you're a Targaryen, and you're a Targaryen, you're a Targaryen. But
You get a dragon.
yes,
You
you
get a
get a dragon. You get a dragon.
That's funny.
Everyone get the dragon. So I don't know, but that would be kind of cool.
All right. We have Lady Mormont making this wonderful speech about who should the North. We have Littlefinger asking the question: who should the North rally behind? A daughter of the North born in Winterfell, or a bastard born in the South?
Which is clearly stated so that way.
Yeah.
One looks a little better than the other.
Right.
Right.
And then we have this awesome speech from Lady Mormont about the North remembering, and then we have everyone rallying behind her speech because I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I cried a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't cry, but I was definitely getting emotional. I was like, this is so amazing.
It was so good. This 11-year-old girl.
She rocked it.
Just laid all out there.
Okay, everyone's new favorite character.
Breaking that fourth wall real quick. That chick, she's going to grow up and be some awesome actress.
Oh, her
Like,
range.
she's nailing it.
Yeah,
like, she's so good. She made that whole scene amazing.
The look she kept giving John throughout it, like, and then when she sat down, the little smile she gave him.
Is she gonna marry John? She gonna be the next?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's just too much. I would be too scared to marry her.
Oh, dude. But no, like the way you have a room full of old war, like war vets, basically. I mean, these guys have been through it all, and they're getting told out by a little girl. Yeah. And she didn't just tell them off. She told them off in the best way possible.
You didn't answer the call. And you didn't answer the call.
She's like, you guys think you're tough, and this little girl just showed you all up. It was like, dang.
Bear Island remembers.
Yeah, Bear Island
the House
remembers.
of Mormont.
You guys are being a bunch of little pansies. This man is a king.
I loved it.
Yeah, she's awesome.
House Mormont knows one king, and that king is the king of the North. And everyone declares Jon Snow king of the North. Like everybody recognizes that he's a Stark, even though his last name is Snow. I wonder if next season will we see Jon Snow take the name Stark? He's the king, right? That's what they've all declared. He's the king of the North.
Yeah.
And the only person that can recognize a bastard as being a true-born son of the father is the king.
Right.
He has the power now. He can declare himself Jon Stark. I feel like Sansa he'd have to make sure Sansa signs off on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sansa would have to be like, yeah, that's
But
cool.
she's been pretty,
she's like, you're a Stark as far as I'm concerned.
But there's a difference between saying that and then it becoming like this official.
Yeah. She's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried away.
I
don't know you're going to change your name.
I honestly think Jon Snow's not the kind of guy that would do that. He's very humble, and he sees himself as like a flawed person.
Yeah.
So I think he would hold the mantle of Snow almost as like a badge now.
But I bet if he had a kid, he would name it Stark.
Right. Because of nothing else, he loves the Starks.
Yeah.
I mean, he does obviously think he's a sibling of them, but it's also he respects that name so much.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he wouldn't take it on himself, but like you said, I think if he did have children, he would definitely make them Starks.
How crazy that Theon Greyjoy is still alive.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you really look at it, it is impressive.
Really, the only Stark children we've seen die are Rickon and Robb.
Yeah.
But Theon is, he was raised with the Starks, the Warden of the Starks. I really thought he'd be dead by now. And nope, he's still kicking. I'm sorry.
He's still got relevance in the narrative. Well, he did. Now I don't know.
I think he's worn out. I think we're gonna see him die next
Well,
season.
and I think if he goes, I think it'll be a sacrificial death.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a random kill.
It'll be
I think
some kind of redeeming.
Yeah, I think he'll either go out for his sister or he'll go out for one of the main people that he's voyaging with now. Because I think he's with the degrading he's gone through in this rebuild.
He has to come back to being Theon again.
Yeah, he's gonna go out in a very majestic way.
Majestic.
It is, yeah.
Very much. He will.
Yeah.
He might even save John or Brandon.
Which I think would be awesome if he did meet back up with John, because originally I always thought those two would be a cool duo, but then they got split off and
Now,
just
how nice of a complete story would that be if he dies like saving Bran after having faked killing Bran?
Yeah, that would be great.
Nice closure there.
But I just feel like, I don't know, one thing that worried me about this episode was there was so much awesome stuff, so much good stuff. Like, I'm like, this is what happens in Game of Thrones. Like, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens, and I don't know if it's because we're either like I mentioned in the first half, like, we've been waiting for it and it's finally paying off now. But I also think, they're kind of building us up to just kind of undercut us again and actually ruin everything. Because I don't think this is going to end happily. Like, I don't think like the series finale is going to end great. But I don't know.
I predict it'll end with the 3.
I think it will.
And it'll
have
end
a happy
with
ending. It's a fantasy story. It's a fantasy novel.
It'll end with Daenerys. It'll have to, because every season
ends with Daenerys.
So it'll end with her, and I think with her and Jon and Theon, or not Theon, with her, Jon, and Tyrion, I think it'll be a cool little, like almost like a Star Wars ending, just like that pan back and show this awesome moment of those guys kind of standing up there and like owning it. I think that'd be a cool ending.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And it's like, who cares what happens now? They're awesome.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
I don't like that ending.
Meet you back here in 2 years.
Yep.
All right. I have a logistical question. So we saw Benjen, Cold Hands, escort them to the wall, and Bran touches the tree. Now, before we go into the vision, how are they going to get Bran across the wall? She doesn't have really any supplies anymore. They don't have any horses, because Benjen took the horse and rode off to keep fighting the good fight. So now, was she going to drag Bran across the wall?
Well, see, something he mentioned, though, that really threw me was how the wall has spells and stuff to keep the dead from crossing. But haven't zombies already gotten across?
No.
Okay.
Giant.
Just the giant
Okay, broke in.
But then, okay, and then the thought then becomes, if that hasn't happened yet, then Bran's been touched. Will Bran be able to cross?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I don't know if he's been touched, if that still counts. If he crosses over it, will he break that spell again like he did in the tree cave? I don't know.
Right.
Questions unanswered. But we know, what we do know, R+L equals J.
Yes.
Yeah, officially, it's finally been revealed.
And that's the thing. Like, of course, we've all been talking about it, and everybody's been talking about it on the internet. That part was kind of anticlimactic because we all kind of expected it, but it was still really cool. Like,
it was a smashing all the theories now, and that it's like these aren't theories anymore. It's finally
Yeah.
And it's great because if they waited till the last season, it was just going to be a constant. Like, when are they going to say this? When are they going to say this? And now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah. Now that was kind of the really big theory that just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
And now we can think about something else. And
Maybe
I like
we
that.
get Lady Stoneheart in season 7. Maybe.
that was
Maybe.
that was one thing I was disappointed about. We didn't get any Stoneheart. I'm still pulling that she's going to show up with Brothers Without Banners, but we didn't see any of them or the Hound.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Hound didn't show up at all.
Yeah, so I
actually
hoping,
expected a bit of the Hound in
but
this
maybe they're saving that for a season 7 premiere. That would be awesome.
That would be an awesome premiere episode if we get Lady Stoneheart at the very beginning.
I'm just waiting for a Hound versus the Mountain battle.
We still want Clegane Bowl. Give us Clegane Bowl, Game of Thrones gods.
That will happen. I'm sure of it.
All right. When Jaime showed back up and he sees Cersei being crowned queen, he's probably heard about Tommen's death. Will the death of their son be enough to break their holdover? And we touched on it last episode. Will he finally be free of his sister obsession? Do you think that's the moment? That look.
The heart wants what the heart wants. So I think there's going to be some resentment, obviously, but
Here's how I see it going. I think, like you said, I think he still is going to feel like he loves her, and they're probably going to have a moment where she's trying to bring him in, and I think that's when he's going to realize that after everything that's happened, he doesn't love her anymore. Yeah. It'll be like he'll realize that after the way she let stuff just kind of occur, he'll blame her.
Yeah.
And I think with that blame will come the resentment and the end of his love for her. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be the best way to do it because of the fact that that's always been such a weird part of Game of Thrones. And then with this, it's finally an easy way to cut it and then to let something else happen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he let go of his name almost. You know what I mean? Like, his sister. Yeah. And then just went off, and then that way his loyalty could go to anybody. Heck, he could join Jon Snow. I mean, I'm throwing a wild curve here.
Jaime Snow.
But no. But I'm not saying he would take a name. I think he would, his loyalties would not be so stuck to the Lannister anymore because the only one left now really is his sister, and she's so evil. And he's not an evil character like we touched on last time. I don't think he's an evil character at all. He's just a good guy in a bad spot, and he was on the wrong side. And I think this will be his way to explore a different loyalty.
Yeah.
All right, so the end of the episode was the obvious shot, as you stated it would be. It was Daenerys and her fleet
and the
sailing
dragons
across the Nameless Sea, and we had Varys somehow on the ship and the dragons. They spent a ton of money on that CGI.
Well, the best part too is you called it, and then I had friends who, after it happened, texted me and who watched this, and they're like, "Wow, you got it exactly right."
I was like, yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm smarter than these writers, obviously. But yeah, they spent a lot of money on it, and obviously they spent so much that they still can't bring Ghost back. They spent a lot of money on CG in the last episode when there was no Ghost. There's still no Ghost.
When you have 1,000 ships, it's really that's a lot of CG too.
I mean, it's just copy and paste.
Copy paste.
They did a good job though of it not looking like that because a lot of the sails were different colors.
Yeah, some of the close-ups were really good.
Yeah.
Like people moving around the ships.
And then showing the horses and the ships, like they specifically are ready to like. Yeah, I thought that was
they're gonna land, ride the horses off, and go murder people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, what are our predictions for season 7? Brody.
I mean, I think Jamie is going to do the big separation. I think Arya is going to become a big secret like character. John's obviously going to start going south, and I don't think we're going to have a big fight with the White Walkers yet. I think it's going to be a last season thing. But I mean, I'm excited for where this is going, especially because you've got Daenerys and her fleet going. I'm excited to see what occurs from that. Plus how everything's changed now that Cersei is crowned queen.
Yeah. I believe that, yes, season 7 will focus on Daenerys gaining control of King's Landing and fighting Cersei. Jon, I'm not sure if they really care about, if they have any interest in King's Landing or whatever, but I believe season 7 will be all about that, and then winter has come. So like people are gonna start dealing with that, and then also everyone's like for season 8, the final season, it's gonna be everyone against the White Walkers, and it's going to be epic.
I didn't even think about that. Like kind of ending the human on human stuff to get ready. That'd be.
When they'll finally eat season 7, they'll be like, all right, all this stuff is just petty. There are some crazy zombie monsters after us.
Can you imagine a whole season following that? That'd be crazy.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
Be so great. So yeah, and then Jamie's gonna kill the queen.
Jamie's gonna kill Cersei?
Queen Slayer.
Oh.
Yeah, heard it here.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, heard it here.
Arya's gonna slaughter people. The Hound's gonna show back up with the Band of Brothers. We might get Lady Stoneheart. That's my wishful prediction.
Please.
And we're gonna see Jon Snow. We're gonna have an early battle. We're gonna have a skirmish at Castle Black that we'll see with the White Walkers towards the end of season 7. That's gonna lead into season 8. I think season 8 is gonna have a lot of build up into a massive battle, and that's when we're gonna finally have the humans on zombie apocalypse, and that'll be a lot of fun. I think the North is gonna be the North, and it's gonna be gearing up. While the South, she's going to land in Dorne, and we're going to see the Khalasar ride north from Dorne. She's going to start in the south and just sweep up and crushing everyone under her heel or taking them in as allies.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
So much carnage.
It's like, come on, they left you so ready for the next
Only
season.
10 more months.
Only 10 more months. It's been great. The discussion of Game of Thrones has been awesome, but we're not done. Join us next week as we discuss Preacher on No, You're Wrong.